afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Rotary Club of Barrie. Things go better when you are here. Special welcome to our guests and visiting Rotarians. Love having you. Please come every chance that you get. We're here every Thursday. Please stand for the start of our meeting. O Canada, and a toast to the Queen. For good food, for good friends, and for the opportunity to provide service above self through Rotary, we are thankful.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing eyes we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Beautiful. Toast to the Queen. Our Beacon editor this week is Beatrice. So please send any announcements you have or things that you want to get into the Beacon, send off to her. And thank you, Todd Armstrong, for a great Beacon last week. Love the added personality into it. Birthdays and anniversaries. We have, so birthday, Daryl Smith, June 1st. Our anniversaries are Terry and David Wilding, 54 years on May 27th. He's obviously done something right. Sherry and Mark Adams, May 31st, 13 years. And Trish and Randy Maxim, 18 years on May 31st. And Michael LeCollier is for date joined. He's been with us 14 years as of May 31st. So welcome, happy birthday, happy anniversary. And Jeff.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
I love that one. I think that one's going to go down in like the history books. I think I can speak for Jeff as well. I think that one's our favorite one. So awesome. Thanks, Eric, for the personal touch. And Betty Ann, you have
President Deb. As of now, we just have one guest, and he is our speaker today, Vic Casalli, and we welcome him to our club today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoy your time with us, and you are always welcome to come back. So we have some announcements. Wayne, do you want to start us off?
Thank you, President Deb. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, guests. I'm going to talk about my favorite subject, Father's Day. Did you know that's coming up soon? Well, I'm going to share my screen with you. And right off the bat, I want to talk about John O'Brien. His company has put up a $1,000 gift certificate, and that includes a 3-course meal in your house, hors d'oeuvres, staff, tableware, food, and it's for up to 16 guests. I know as a father, I would love to win something like this, have everybody over after COVID's gone. And I just wanted to share that with you. Great Father's Day gift. And of course, this is one of the prizes with the ice fishing tournament. Now, I'm going to show another screen with you. And that is, how would you buy a ticket for someone who you wanted to buy, like a guest ticket or a ticket for my father or your best friend? All you do is you go onto the website and you click get a raffle ticket. It comes up to add to cart. You can buy as many as you like. All right. And then you go add to cart. I view cart. I go to checkout. Right now I have one ticket in my bucket. I should have had more than that. So now you come down here, you scroll a little bit, and now you go to the final checkout. When you click onto that, it takes you now to either create account. That means you're a brand new customer and you want to set it up. But if you want to go to create a guest account, you click on that. And then what you get to do is turn around and put in your father's name, your best friend's name, or you can put my name in. No, actually, you have to use my wife. I'm not allowed to own any tickets. So my wife will be getting them. And you put in their email address, you do all that stuff. And then you just go next time. Oh, security question. It means nothing. All you do is you pick your pet's name and put in Jeff, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're not going to be asked. So then you continue, and then it goes right to payment. Now, it wouldn't let me go through because I didn't fill the information in. But just so you know, for setting up a guest account, that's as easy as that. And that way there you can buy for anybody. You can buy a ticket for President Deb. You can buy a ticket for, your best friend. Or, unfortunately, we had this Leaf Canadians bet going on. And it looks like I owe one because the Canadians lost. But I did get a couple with the win. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is right now because of the lockdown, we couldn't do the advertising in the stores like we would have. We're only about 40% sold. John? Is John there?
John O'Brien?
No. Oh, John O'Brien. No.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Oh, there, John Laking. Sorry, I unmuted. Sorry, I'm trying to do this on my cell phone. I'm not that savvy. Thanks, Wayne. 40% is great. I think that number puts us, we're in the profit now, so anything we can sell would be great. I can tell you I'm not that bad of a bad cop because I was on the evening meeting with Chair Kate a couple weeks ago, and Mira, who was the president of the club out in Washington State. I gave the sales pitch to the satellite group, and she was aghast that I would set such a low bar of 4 tickets. She felt that we should be selling 10 or more, but I'm not pushing for that. I'm really pushing for us to hit that 4. I know I told you it was the deadline a couple weeks ago. It was extended. We've got a couple weeks now, so. Secretary Jeff, or maybe he's our pet name, Jeff, is going to send a link out after the meeting that will make it very easy for you to forward it on to family, to friends. Let's put a real push on this. This is pure profit for us now. We know our expenses are covered. It's a great project. It's great work that our fellow Rotarians have put up to. So challenge to everybody, if you were going to buy some tickets and didn't get to it, guess what? You've got time now. So let's get at her. Thanks.
President Deb, could I add something here, please?
You sure can. Is it 10 tickets?
Well, if I keep doing what I'm doing, it may be. So Wayne was very, very subtle in your efforts there, Wayne. I could feel your eyes burning through the screen into my chest. I lost my bet with Wayne for game 1 of the Habs Leaf series, and I've been trying since then to buy him a ticket, 2 tickets, because he wouldn't give us fair odds, but we had to do that because, you have to placate a Habs fan. But anyways, I've tried to buy tickets twice for Wayne's wife, and twice I have bought tickets for myself. So Wayne has done a hell of a job driving up ticket sales here. I still have not purchased the tickets for Wayne's wife. And that whole tutorial today was directed purely at me. So thank you, Wayne.
Awesome. Anything we can do to kind of, get you motivated as, incoming president there, Jody?
Spending money is something I do well, so we'll just try to be careful here going forward, but that was awesome.
Wayne, do you have any more to add? You're on mute.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, President Deb. I did put the link up there quite a few times in the chat. You can click on that, it'll take you right there. And the last thing I want to put there is, no, it wasn't directed right at incoming President Jody. Not much, a little bit, but not all. Here's the bad news. We're down 3-1, and it looks like I'm going to have to wear a Leaf jersey for next week's meeting. It is just, I'm beside myself. So anyways, please buy tickets, tell your friends about it. Right now, we're all in profit mode. And always remember the trip of the month ticket. We used to pay $150 for 36 opportunities to win something. This year, you're only paying $30 and you get an opportunity of 51 different prizes. What just phenomenal. And right now, everything goes to RVH. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks for all the work. I know you guys are just hustling every day. So please, again, send it out on social media, hit, circle 8, just keep passing it on, and it's amazing who it reaches to. Now, Ian, I believe you have a special something on Fun Run. First, you're up twice today, aren't you?
I think President Deb, Kara was going to kick things off, and I'm just the numbers guy here.
Okay, Kara.
Hi, President Deb and fellow Rotarians. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, I can't believe it, but Fun Run is like well underway, and it's like closing off for the year. I'm really super proud of our team for pulling this together virtually for the second year in a row, and not only like doing well with it, but I think improving a lot of aspects of it too. So, a special shout out to the team that has put in so much work this year. John Ingram, Rory and Jeff for taking care of sponsorship. We've got Mallory still with the SIVA Creative, and even past Rotarian Kate M's put in some great work too. John Ingram, David Thompson, special shout out to him because he is taking it over next year for chair of the Fun Run. Give a special round of applause for him. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with it too, and especially Ian Pavlik. Bar none, hands down, so much work put into him, and the club is so thankful to have him at our backs for sure. He's awesome. So anyways, the special things that we added this year were the online sponsorship. So sharing a link to increase your personal sponsorship. And I put an email out to my friends and family, and I raised an extra over $250. So I was pretty excited about that. Yeah, and maybe in the comments, since it's a Fun Run, walk, or anything, let us know what you did and how you participated. I've seen some great photos online too, so thanks for posting those. What else?
So Kara, just so you know, we've got currently, just with the people online, we've raised $5,700 through the donations just through the website, which is great.
Yeah.
And so people are starting to log their runs. And what we're doing is we're keeping a tally. So we've got 189 kilometers so far people run. Not everybody logs their kilometers, but we also have almost 1,400 minutes of exercise. So the more people run or walk, we can start to get a tally going there. And yeah, no, our activities picking up, and people are posting photos, which is awesome. So
that is very cool. Now, did you run, Ian, or are you a walker?
Oh, I've logged a couple runs. I run in the trails, and so that's my reason why I'm quite slow. So don't look at my time versus my distance.
David Thompson's time, probably.
Oh gosh, nowhere near that. He invited me.
Is he online?
I don't know if he's online right now, but he emailed me. He wanted to do a run tomorrow morning, and I think I have to decline because I don't want to be embarrassed. Plus, I have a tee off time at 7:30, so I can't.
He could just run circles around you.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks, Ian. That's amazing. I don't know if we have much more to report, but thanks everyone for supporting us. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Head over to the website, check out the sponsor page. We couldn't do it with all your help, so I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Kara. Thank you, Ian. And Steve, you've got your hand up. You're on mute.
Sorry, President Deb, that was a mistake. I'm operating on a cell phone, so I'll take my hand down. Thank you.
Okay. So Ian, now you're up.
Now I'm up. So President Deb, I understand, is Catherine Elphick on the call? Or is it just me?
I think it might just be you.
Okay, I guess I'm acting on Catherine's behalf here to do let me just share my screen, to do the draw for the tulips, I think, that we're planning to give away. I don't know how many tulip bulbs it is, President Deb. Is it 2 or 3 or 4? What's the?
2 boxes.
2 boxes, okay. So we raised a total of $440 and sold 110 tickets. I'll make a note of a number of tickets were purchased by a John Patfield. I'm not sure if that was a typo or someone else, but there's a John Patfield in there, and I'll pull up a random generator here between 1 and 110. The number is 67. So that would be Baz.
Yay.
There you go. Are we just giving one prize away or multiple? I can't.
2 boxes.
2 boxes. So the first one is Baz. So let's go around and generate the next one. Oh, 62. And that be John Patfield.
Yeah.
There we go. There's your draw, President Deb.
Wonderful. Thank you. Oh, let's see. What do we have here? Oh, so we are right into, now, is there any other announcements? I didn't get many this week, so anybody else have an announcement? Not seeing anything. So SAA Eric, right into you.
Thanks, President Deb. So that seriously, the Dutch dude gets the tulips. Like, are you familiar with them at all, Baz?
President Debbie and Eric, yes, I'm somewhat familiar, and my wife has become a great fan. So we have about probably 200 in our yard. So these are certainly a welcome addition. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice.
All right, Secretary Jeff, we've got a fair number of items in the SAA gig today. Why don't we start off with that President's Bash thing? Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong screen up. So President's Bash, still saving the date, June 18. We definitely want to have you out for that. We're setting up the market site now because John O'Brien has made things particularly confusing. He's given us so many cool menu options that you're going to have some choices to make and some options and a lot of fun. Why don't we go to that next slide, Jeff, and we'll take a look and see what that's got to do with stuff. So check this out. You know, John and his team have put together a number of menu options from steak to brisket to chicken to a veggie burrito bowl and some appetizer options. You know, you'll actually, Jeff, take us off screen for a second. You'll see a few of these options showing up on my screen if you've got speaker noted. So I've got a couple of jalapeno poppers here and a bacon wrapped pineapple. I have a charcuterie board that is looking awesome. I had a visit today from John, dropping off a few of these samples. So, you know, clearly John's going to be on the free list for a little while, at least for the rest of my year, based on the bribes received today. You know, President Deb, were you a recipient of any bribes?
Oh, yes. It's exceptional bribes. Yes.
John, what do you want to tell us about how you guys are getting ready for President's Bash?
Shall I grab something to show while we're waiting for John?
Yeah, you might as well do that. I know
Sure.
I've got, I also have my strawberry rhubarb cobbler here, John. I'm ready to roll.
Thanks, Eric and President Deb. Yeah, we just, I think doing the takeout option really makes it a lot more easier on our end to be able to facilitate certainly a meal that we can make sure is exact and to what everybody's tastes and flavors are. And the one thing that we really didn't put on there, I'll put out there is about any dietary restrictions. We can certainly accommodate any of them as well. And yeah, we got a lot of things on the go on our own personal end of the business. So this is just incorporating some of that into it too. So yeah.
That's
Oh,
terrific.
John, I'm just gonna steal the screen if everybody's got that. Do you see that? Look how awesome this is.
And this isn't even one of the available menu choices. You're gonna have to get that from John as a special favor. So thanks again, John. So yes, do keep an eye out for your for the email when Dave Sopik and his gang at Avetti are building the site for us. You'll see all of these options, a couple of different price points and a couple of add-on options. The one other thing that we'll be building into this is a signature cocktail. It'll be a spikeable cocktail, so it'll be available for everybody. You can sign up for that. That'll be a free option, a gift of the club in honor of President Deb's year. And so watch for that as well. You'll hear more about that as we start to unleash all of this. All right, let's see, Jeff. Next up, let's go to Fun Run Images. You heard from Ian and Kara today that that people are starting to post their runs and their walks. So I just got a little selection there. I've got Kara up in the corner. We've got Mike and Bonnie and Adelaide down on the side there. And let's go to the next one as well. So here's a bit of a double whammy. So you've got the Galbraith family doing their fun run, but then you've also got a kind of a special good news announcement showing up from Brian on Facebook this week. Brian, it looks like you have a new honor, and then you were deflecting over to Nicole. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what this post meant to us?
Hi, President Deb.
Oh.
Whoa.
Sorry about that. President Deb and Sergeant Armour. I've just been elected the president of an international organization I've been working with for a few years called the International Academy of Collaborative Professionals. So we have 3,000 members in 25 countries, and we're legal professionals who help people resolve their divorce issues without going to court. And so it's a real honor to be leading this organization. But in my post on Facebook, I give the credit to Nicole because she makes it all possible for me to do all these things, and she's just such a tremendous support. And I get the credit, and really she deserves so much of it. So that was my post on Facebook.
Pretty nice. What do you think, Deb? That's a pretty strong good news announcement. You know, he's tried to push off the fine to honor Nicole instead. What do you think is good for Brian?
I'm thinking Nicole should pay the fine.
You could try that, but you know what? I'm gonna stick up for Nicole. She puts up with a lot. Every once in a while, she just had to take a flight out of here, get some peace. Now,
That's
for
true.
those, she works in the airline, so. But
well, she hopes to work in the airline soon.
Yeah.
She like, although she's I think 25 years with Air Canada, she's laid off like so many others. Only the most senior people are working right now.
so as a Rotarian, you were going to have your laid off wife pay your fines?
Digging it deeper.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be good, eh?
Yeah, no, I don't think you're going to get away with this. So
You know what? Brian would probably be well fine to ensure a really big order for the President's Bash. Lots of add-ons. Treat the whole family to appetizers. That'd be a pretty good find.
I think that is perfect essay, Eric.
Oh, definitely. I've marked it on the calendar as I'm making dinner that night. So I'm in. I'm in.
So you're making dinner. That means we're still open for a fine. So I'm thinking, you know, you need to sponsor me in the fun run.
All right.
I'll leave it to your amount, but you know, if it's not at least $10, I'll be sure to let you know next week.
It'll be 10 times that. You bet.
Awesome.
All right, let's Jeff, let's go to good grief. So look at that. You know, I know we end up with Marshall on here a fair bit, but now he's on the big screen. New locally shot movie is now available on Amazon Prime. Good grief, it's Friday, and you know, right in the thick of things is Marshall Green. So Marshall, what puts you onto the big screen, and what are you expecting in terms of residuals on this? Because that could really determine your fine.
Well, that's easy, President Arms, Eric, because the residuals are absolutely zero. I managed to eke my way onto into this award-winning film because I managed to get one of the locales through a client of mine for the producer director, and this is already going to cost me money because I am sure that there's going to be some kind of award ceremony, and I've got to find a tux since I grew out of the last one that I had. So I throw myself on the mercy of President Deb to make it the final low one, because I am going to have to buy a new outfit for award season.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, Marshall.
That was a nice try.
Yeah.
Obviously, my acting ability was better in the movie than it is here.
Well, that's pretty awesome that you're part of that. Plus, I do love your community posts that you do. You do a heck of a lot of work for our community and developing the arts and entertainment in Barrie. So on behalf of that, I think your fine would be as Wayne is indicating, buy an ice fishing ticket.
Okay, shall do.
Good deal. Secretary Jeff, why don't we go to Arlette? I've been waiting for Arlette for a while, and she hasn't been on screen when I've wanted her to be on screen. So Arlette, what about this big win? You know this has been coming for a while now.
President Deb, Sergeant at Arms Eric, how do you know that's me? It could be anybody.
Hair. We know the hair.
Yeah. Well, it is a good news announcement. You know, I think it's really important that we support the other Rotary clubs in town, some of their fundraising events. And I guess doing a good turn, what goes around comes around. But I will point out that we actually had the TV installed this week, and it cost over $500 to install it. So it was a bit of a costly win, and you can't drive it.
True, can't drive it.
So
I always personally, I do like it.
The ticket goes back in the draw.
For the big stuff. That's good. We'll come
Sorry.
back to you for the big win. It is always nice when we take prizes off the other clubs, because that's just fun. President Deb, what do you think? We've got a TV. We have a sob story.
Yeah, and I'm playing.
No, it's a BMW.
What was that, Arlette?
Well, I said it's not a sob story, Eric. It's a BMW story.
Yes. So we're going to want that BMW in the next draw.
So I could certainly buy the first round of drinks this afternoon at the golf game, but I would also be prepared to buy another ticket for the fishing derby.
That would be awesome.
Okay, thank you very much.
And
Since
I am
she's
a
on a winning roll.
beneficiary of that drink that she's buying on the first round.
This is good. All right, I've got one more pair here. And it's good that Beatrice and Vic and Steve are all around, because why don't we pull up that that mob award slide, Jeff. So I noticed this one. We have Mob Blush winning the Birdie Best Eco Beauty Award. I thought that was a pretty nice news story. It was shared by some of our mob folks. I'm going to pick on Beatrice for this one. Maybe you can tell us what the Birdie is all about and what this means to mob.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Wait a minute. Am I? Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, President Deb, fellow Rotarians, and esteemed guest, Victor. Yes, it's very exciting. We just launched in January, as you know, and for a startup brand barely out of the gate, it's pretty humbling and exciting to know that we are being noticed everywhere. Birdie is it's a lifestyle online and in print, I think, but definitely online lifestyle website in the beauty, personal space, fashion space, where they, as many other magazines and lifestyle curators, will point out brands to watch and specific products that they award awards for. And Mob Beauty did win the award for the best new blush. And so that is very exciting, because the amount of love poured into our formulations it's really why we're here. And I'm excited because Vic will tell you more about it. So it is Vic's formula, and it is the team's creation in terms of bringing it to life and onto the market. Oh, apparently I'm not looking at the camera. Steve's in the background. Apologies.
That's okay. We're getting
everybody.
the profile. We're getting the profile shot.
Yeah, sorry. Now you can snap my picture.
It's good.
So yeah, that's the good news announcement, President Deb and SAA Eric. And I hope that there are more awards coming our way. I'm putting it out in the universe that there are more coming our way.
Nice. Anything you want to do with that, President Deb?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, also www.mobbeauty.com. If you're gonna find me, I might as well mention our website, everyone, in case you're looking for some nice makeup for the people in your life that appreciate beauty products.
Yeah.
And Victor, you may not know this, but one rule in Rotary is you're not allowed to promote your own business. So once again, www.mobbeauty.com. Check us out on Instagram as well.
So yeah, I think definitely, like, one, winning the award, congratulations. I do know the work you guys have put in over the time, and it's been an incredible experience and journey for you guys. Ups, downs, and everything else in between. So I think that's at least a $50 donation to my fun run. At least one ticket to the fishing derby. Yeah, I think that's probably hitting it pretty easy, but.
How many tickets, President Deb?
At least one.
Whoa, okay. How about 3? Actually, how about 4? Because there are 4 founders. Alicia is not here. Hopefully she is a guest in the future as well. At our Rotary Club, but how about 1 for each founder of Mob? So 4, I'll gladly do the $50 donation to your fun run, and 4 tickets for the ice fishing raffle. And I'm also the beacon note taker, so that's why you're seeing me sideways, because I've got the iPad here and the computer there taking notes. So I won't forget.
Yeah, double duty, awesome, and love it that you're going to do that. So thanks so much, and again, congratulations.
All right, President Deb, I have one last little bit to take on, because we've got Mob on the line today. So this one involves Steve and Wayne. Wayne professes that Father's Day is the holiday he cares the most about, but I heard a little story about Wayne seeking advice and around Mother's Day. And Steve, did you want to tell me what that was all about?
President Deb and Sergeant at Arms Eric. Yes, actually, it was kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you, in that Wayne showed up for a COVID compliant visit with President Deb and just started to go on and about what should he buy his wife for Mother's Day. And at first I thought maybe he was kind of digging for some samples or things like that, but truly he did not understand the significance of a good Mother's Day gift. So President Deb was good enough to give him an education on prestige good makeup, aka Mob, Mob Beauty. You've heard of that, I hope. At any rate, but I'm going to turn it over to Wayne because it was embarrassing. I think he did get some cosmetics for his wife for Mother's Day, but I'd also like to hear how it was received by his better half.
Well, thank you for throwing me under the bus. I mean, what can I say? My wife really thought well, I even asked her, what did you think of the lip gloss? She thought it was excellent. She liked that. She thought the Mob products were good, except that, and then there was some other cosmetic things, and she liked the entire thing. So I have to thank President Deb for steering me in the right direction. But I have to say, Steve, throw me under the bus. Come on now. I thought we were doing that on the side. That's fine. We will stand behind the Mob products, but what can I say? I'm at your mercy.
Well, I figured since we've already got hit on this for a fine, I might as well get a bit more advertising in on there. So take advantage of the opportunity. Sorry, Wayne, wasn't meant to be at your expense.
Yeah, that was for Beatrice, that fine. That's not yours.
Absolutely. I'm not going there, President Deb. I'm just not going to go there.
Yeah, so I think you're good for sponsoring me in the fun run and a ticket to the fishing derby. And then Wayne, I think you should sponsor me in the fun run as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, President Deb, that's my material. Bass, your hand is up. Was that for a reason, or are you as challenged as Steve? Okay, good. His hand is just up for fun. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, President Deb, I will turn the program back over to you.
Okay, well, it is, we've got golf this afternoon, so we thought we'd jump right into the guest speaker and get Vic on. So Beatrice, I'm going to call on you again. Beatrice? Don't know if her screen might have froze. Steve, are you there? Can you pass the phone over to Beatrice?
Steve froze out as well, it appears. The whole building went down.
The whole building went down.
Hey, while they're offline, by the way, for anybody that's golfing today, I do hope the trash talk will start now. And I do want photos, stories, squealers about golf, because I figure golf could actually take me through to the end of my year for material. So make sure we've got lots of good stories coming back from golf today.
Yeah, no, I don't see them back on, but I will jump in. So when she does hop on, she can take over for me because I don't have an official bio. But Victor, I do know you, and you have been an incredible figure in the beauty industry. MAC Cosmetics, which I have the mascara on right now because mascara is coming to Mob soon. But yeah, it's just, you've been a icon in the beauty industry. So we are so happy to have you here. When Beatrice does pop on, I'm sure she'll have an official profile for you. But if I can ask for you to step in and just start sharing about, I thought I just saw Beatrice pop in there. Nope. There she is.
Hello. Hi
Okay.
guys, sorry, we lost Wi-Fi at Mob.
So I'm using my cell phone plan and my cell phone. Hopefully, can you all hear me? It's time to introduce Victor, I assume is what
It is.
Apologies. Okay. It's Murphy's Law, of course, for technical problems to happen. It is my honor and pleasure 2 weeks in a row to be able to introduce I hang out with pretty amazing people. So this week I get to introduce my colleague and business partner and what else can I call you, Vic? I think those are pretty good ones. Victor Casalli, who is co-founder and CEO of Mob Beauty. Victor began his career 37 years ago, if you can believe it, because he doesn't look a day older than 30. 30 years ago in the beauty industry as the chief chemist at MAC Cosmetics. If you guys don't know MAC Cosmetics, it is a huge pop culture icon in the makeup industry. I certainly grew up looking up to MAC. So he was the chief chemist there, where he developed some of the beauty industry's most iconic and best-selling products on the globe. And I'm not joking about that. And some of those products are still some of the best-selling products on the globe, including Studio Fix Foundation. So for the gents in the room, if you don't use foundation, maybe the ladies in your life do, and they would know MAC and they would know Studio Fix. They would also know Ruby Red Lipstick from MAC. So Vic continued his pursuit of beauty innovation, and he successfully, I should say, sold a MAC in 1999, a very successful exit to Estee Lauder. So of course, as a relentless innovator and mad scientist, he could not sit still despite such great success. And he went on to create a second company called Cover FX, where he was co-founder and chief innovation officer. That's where he met our third fellow co-founder of Mob Beauty. Her name is Alicia. And they worked there tirelessly to create some beautiful skincare, complexion products and other beauty products that met with also very good success. And Cover FX still exists as a company, but Victor divested himself of Cover FX interest in 2019, whilst he was already baking the idea of Mob Beauty. I met Victor through my work at CSR. He was, we were part of the same industry. He was a customer, and Steve, being the owner operator of CSR, has had a relationship with Vic for that 30 plus year period, because CSR helped with both MAC products and Cover FX products. So Victor and Steve have a long-standing business and friendship relationship, and then enter Alicia and Beatrice as the last into this beautiful friendship. So in 2019, the idea of Mob Beauty was flowing in Vic's head, and we all came together shortly thereafter to create this company. Victor also has another company called Pure Culture, and that's a skincare brand focused on I want to say probiotics, but it's not. Microbiome, apologies, the microbiome. So he's a very busy person. He's a mad scientist who spends most of his time in the lab. That's his true love, to create best-in-class personal care and beauty care, beauty products. And the only thing that Vic loves more than science is family and food. So when he's not formulating in the lab, and I think he's in his lab right now, I can't see him on my phone, but I think that's where he is sitting right now. You'll find him in his kitchen. So I'll pass over the mic to Victor Casalli.
Thank you, Beatrice. President Deb, thank you for inviting me. I want to acknowledge Steve and Beatrice for being great partners, great friends, great colleagues in the development of Mob and the launch of Mob recently. What I'm hoping to do today is maybe tell you a little bit about the way MAC started and the business environment back in, let's say, mid 80s to the business environment today, starting a new company. I think, having been at the startup of several companies throughout the last 30 some odd years, Beatrice gave it away, so 37. So I can't be under 50 years old. I have to be older than 50, I guess. So I want to talk a little bit about that. One thing that's important, though, is that CSR and Barry has been an important part of my success and my development over the last 30 years. One of the things is something I mentioned to Steve recently. One of the things that has not changed in such a long 3 decades in our industry is how cosmetic products are made. And if I was to, and we've done this, and I'll talk about it. Mob starting today I have the exact same team and equipment and setup I had 30 years ago. So having started Mac, it was the same processes, the same equipment. Having done it with Cover Effects, same thing. And now 30 plus years later, on the manufacturing front, it's interesting how that has really remained the constant of throughout the 30 years, where a lot of other things have changed, and I'll talk about that. So with Mac, back in the 80s, one of the things that, excuse me, of all times, one of the things that I felt was a place to start is when you started a company, or when we started the company, there was literally no one around that would help you financially unless you gave an arm or a leg or had some collateral to speak for the money you took. It was very hard. And I have to say, the friends and family and love money was really all you had. It's all we had. And we tried every route, and it was very limited. Canada being a little bit more conservative in investments. I think it's still the case today, more than anything. It was just difficult. So, early stage financing was almost impossible. If I look at today, and I'm currently working through this with Pure Culture, there are hundreds of early stage private equity companies that I can contact that have literally hundreds of millions of dollars in their accounts ready to invest. It's a huge swing. I just can't believe it. There is so much money sitting there waiting to invest in early stage companies. Investors are looking to put their money into young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that have a unique point of difference, that have a new story, that have a new competitive advantage that they can back. Whereas I honestly did not see that available 30 years ago. And that is a huge change. And with that, though, it brings a lot more competition. I'll talk a little bit about that. What I find as a juxtaposition between, let's say, then 30 years ago and today is the barriers to entry. You really, for some of you who have been, starting a business, doing business 30 years ago, you really had to know people, and you had to be connected physically. Like, you physically had to know people that you could call and get support, advice, direction, information. If you wanted to start a business like a cosmetic company, you had to know, well, where can I get these ingredients from? Who are they? Where are they? How do I get access to them? How do I get equipment? How do I know what the market is doing and where the customers are? How do I get all this information? It was literally phone, fax at the time, and then email slowly started to come into the picture, but in a very limited way. So it was very much about your physical connections and who you knew. And that was a big barrier to entry. You couldn't just wake up in the morning and say, look, I'm going to start a cosmetic company. You really had to know somebody or know something and have some, some connections there. Whereas today, I use the term Google entrepreneur. A Google entrepreneur is really kind of the way things work today. You can literally, from your home, launch a company. You can go online, you can search the market and look at what people are complaining about. You can look at products that are on the market that have feedback. that are scored. So you could say, look, there's a product category that's not getting attention. Here's the product. This is what they're saying about it. You can reach out to a private label manufacturing lab, which there are many more than before. Before, it was like Colmar was the company in Canada you went to. Now there's a slew of them, right? So you can actually reach out online, call directly, get somebody to make a formula for you. You don't need to have a warehouse because you can reach out and get a third-party logistics provider that will house your stuff. They will ship your stuff. They will label your stuff. They will kit your stuff. You can sell directly to the customer online. You don't have to leave your home. And the Google entrepreneur has access to almost anything they want to get access to, literally, as long as they have the ambition to type a few words in and follow the chain. So the barrier to entry is so much lower, I find, at least for the cosmetic industry, because you can actually launch a company and not have to have all of those connections you needed 20, 30 years ago. And so that's a huge difference for us. And with that comes information and control and power. And there's a huge power shift that's happened. And some of you maybe have seen it, and I'll try to explain it. For us in our industry, so 2-3 decades ago, if we wanted to succeed in the marketplace, we could literally control what the customer saw and heard and knew about us. We could develop a story for our product. We would call the publishers of magazines, primarily beauty magazines, and we would negotiate with them an editorial. If we wanted to buy advertising, we would buy advertising. And if we did buy advertising, we would get better editorial. So we could literally, a year before we launched a product, begin to secure the amount of noise and communication and information the potential customer was going to get on our product. We could control it, literally control it. And sometimes it had to do with how much money you were willing to pay the publications. So you pay more, you get more. If you don't pay anything, you might get an article, you might not, but generally you had control of that. And the publications knew that, and they used it to their advantage. And if you wanted to run an article, an ad in, let's say, Vogue, it was $60,000 US for a quarter of a page. And that's the kind of money that they were demanding because they knew they could control the information to the customer. That has totally changed. The control of information and communication is gone from the manufacturer now to the consumer. We have no control. We can't use our channels of communication and control them to get the message we want to get out. We can say we have the best product or we have the most unique mascara or cream blush, as we talked about earlier. We got an award on that. We can say we have the best cream blush and we could say it's better than everyone else's, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. When the product hits the market and customers get online and start, either Instagramming about it, TikToking about it, or influencing about it, it's whatever they say that goes. You can launch a product, and if a couple of key influencers say good things about it, you'll be out of stock. If a couple of key influencers say bad things about it, you're going to be overstocked and you have way too much of it. Huge swing. And that's very difficult for us to manage as a manufacturer, for retailers to manage as inventory now, because retailers don't even know. They'll bring in inventory. Again, an influencer says something good, they can't keep it in stock. Says something bad, they can't sell it. And so there's a big swing in control of information from, just in the last 3 decades that has made it more difficult for manufacturers to really plan. We want to forecast. We're all, we're business people in this room. We want to forecast. We want to kind of predict what the next year is going to be like. It's just that much harder now because with one Instagram or one TikTok post, you can go from success to failure. And that's something that can happen. The other thing that I find is so difficult today than ever before, 30 years ago, we could launch a product, we could sell it through a channel. And if somebody had a problem with it, chances are they would just complain to their friends, or they would call us and say, you know, I used your product and I broke out into a reaction, or I didn't like it. And, you know, we'd be talking on the phone and I would try to solve the problem, or we would try to, you know, solve the problem. Well, today that doesn't happen. If somebody has a problem with a product, everybody knows about it. Now it's in everybody's inbox or on their screen. And so a customer had a reaction, which is 1 in a million, let's say. Now everyone thinks there's a problem with your product because they had a reaction with it. So that type of information is out there. It's, you know, we call it the color culture. I don't know what else you can call it, but that's the term I use. I'm kind of dating myself. But that's something that is uniquely different from 3 decades ago to today. And just going back to where I started, one thing that hasn't changed is the way we make product. We still make product the same way. It takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes commitment. It takes passion. Something that, you know, Beatrice, Steve, and Alicia and myself have for our industry. We're committed to it. We're committed to making it better and changing it. That still remains the same. A lot of other parameters have shifted, in some cases 180 degrees. And that's, you know, something I wanted to share with you today. I'm hoping that was a good start, and maybe I'll just stop at this point to back to President Deb for any questions.
Great. Yeah, it's a big topic to try to put into a short amount of time. I've had the advantage of sitting down with you and having chats, but yeah, questions as we have here. Arlette?
Hi, thank you for your presentation today. I just wanted to know how you got into the cosmetics field in the first place. What was your background?
That's a great question. Well, I was dating my future wife, my former future wife, but I was dating my future wife from high school, and I was studying chemistry. I went to University of Toronto and was in a special chemistry specialist degree, undergraduate degree. And in my second year, her brother asked me at dinner if I knew how to make makeup because he wanted to start a makeup company. And to impress her and the family, I said, no, but I'll see if I can figure it out. And that's how I got started.
Awesome. Brian?
Yeah, you described the Google entrepreneur and how easy and accessible it is to get into the industry. Has that meant that there's a lot more competition? Because it seems like there's still some pretty major players who dominate, but you know, I'm not familiar with the entire industry, that's for sure. So what's the level of competition like now?
Yes, there is literally, if you were to ask the general beauty industry, there's probably a dozen or so new cosmetic companies that start every day, literally. And there is much more noise. There's much more bottom feeding, if that's the term you want to use. What the larger players have done now is they just wait and they just buy the winners. And they'll pay more to buy the winners than to try it themselves. So if you think about it, you know, there's a bunch of games going on. Whoever makes it, you know, to the finals gets a big prize, a big check, and you know, the industry veteran players, the multinationals will buy that and then take that to the next level. So Estee Lauder will probably still always be a big company. L'Oreal, they will still be a big company. LVMH, you know, all these big beauty brands. But you'll see that Estee Lauder owns 30 companies. You may not know that, but they own 30 companies. MAC was the first company they bought. They had 6 brands when they bought us back in the 90s. Now they have over 30. So what they do is they just wait, the winners get bought out. So that's what's happening. But there are more people playing the game because it's easier to get in the game. What it does though is it creates more diversity, it creates more unique products, more innovation. It really forces everyone. The one thing I didn't talk about, I don't know how much time I have, but one thing I didn't say is that the life cycle of a product has shortened. If I would have launched a product at MAC, let's say Studio Fix Foundation, that's lasted 35 years. If I was to launch that product today, I'm you're lucky if it'll last 3 to 5 years, because the consumer is buying something and then looking for the next new thing. Okay, that was a great foundation. What's the next best foundation? And they're willing to trash it to take something new. So nobody really holds on to things as long as they used to. So that life cycle is shortened.
We have Steve and then Arlette. You're on mute.
There we are. Sorry, Vic, thanks for sharing the information. I think it'd be important, since we've already been fined for broadcasting and advertising, to talk a little bit about what makes Mob unique. You talked about all the competition, and we've had long discussions about how difficult it is with all of the competition, but we do have some pillars and points of difference that are very important, and I think are critical to our success. Maybe you could talk a little bit to everybody about what those are.
Sure, Steve. You know, the great thing about our company is that we were founded by 4 experienced veterans who are aligned in values and vision. What we're hoping to accomplish with Mob is to do things in the beauty industry better than we had ever done before on our own. And because we're greenfield, or we started from new, we are able to do things without legacy, without having to worry about the way we did it before, because we're starting from new. And some of the things that are important to us are engaging with the consumer in a two-way conversation, really having relationships with consumers more in depth than just trying to sell them. We actually went live with our social media platform a year before we launched our first product. So we were engaging with our community a year before they could even buy a product from us. That was very important. Trying to reduce our footprint on our carbon footprint on our industry is very important. You know, Colmar, which is in your town, has produced a lot of single-use packaging products for other companies and other brands. And that's a big issue with our industry, is that, you know, the life cycle of a lipstick or an eyeshadow or a cream is 3 to 6 months. And generally the packaging that it comes in is something that lasts forever and is hard to recycle. That's another thing that we're really focusing on. So we have a packaging sold separately model where you can't buy the product assembled, ready to use. You buy the refills and you buy the packaging. Similar to a razor handle and a razor blade. You know, most guys will have a razor handle for years and years and years and just replenish the cartridge. We're trying to bring that same behavior into the beauty industry, which is difficult, but that's where we're starting. You know, because my background is formulation, and Steve and Beatrice is product. We are so product focused. We spend a lot of our time developing product, focusing on product, where that's not always the case. You know, I talk about the Google entrepreneur. They're generally more marketing focused. You know, how do I market and sell product? Mob, we're focused on product, to the point where I have a lab that follows me, because I'm very hands-on, I'm very product focused, despite the fact that, you know, we have businesses to run. Product is still very important to us. So product is important. And I don't know if I missed any. Steve, do you want to help me with this?
I was just saying the professional grade product, which you've talked about, as well as the fact that we're vegan and clean.
Yes. Well, you know, just doing things better and being careful about what we put in and what we don't put in. I had the privilege with Cover Effects, which is a previous brand, where it started out of the University Hospital, Sunnybrook Hospital, and I worked with dermatologists. So I really learned about what to put in and what not to put in to just make better product. So overall, we're really shaping the industry. And just, you know, maybe a few things just to let you know, for Steve and Beatrice, they're amazing, just an amazing duo. They bring a lot to our team, and a lot of authenticity, a lot of passion. And, you know, Mob has reached a level in its first 3 months that I hadn't reached at either Mac or Cover Effects in like 7 to 10 years. We have been written up in industry magazines and communications, that so much so that everybody in the industry knows who we are. And when I reach out to fellow people that are in the competitive world, say we are the gold standard, or we have become the gold standard. So that's great for us to feel right now. And we're committed to making this a successful company for the future.
Arlette, you have a question?
Yes, thank you, Victor. I'm obviously very interested in this subject. I don't think just because I'm a female, but I look at President Deb, and they always look good on the screen compared to the image I see of myself. So I kind of want to know what they're doing. But my question, Steve kind of was headed in that direction. Obviously, there's lots of price points in the industry, from the buy at home type home sales to the drugstore to the department store brands. What's the difference in the composition to make something to create the price points? Obviously, I would think the more expensive, the better the product, but I'm not sure if that's always the case.
Well, it isn't. Each segment, so the mass, the prestige, and the luxury, let's slice it to those three, right? Each one has their own value chain. There's various people along, and you have to sell it for certain dollars. But one thing I can say for sure is that the packaging is the highest driver of the cost of a product. So if you're willing to look at packaging as not being the value creator in your mind, and that's one of our biggest issues as a consumer base in general, is that we have maybe been programmed subconsciously or consciously to believe that things that are heavier, shinier, bigger are better. And so, when you go buy a product in a store, the lipstick that's shinier and heavier is the better lipstick. That's not necessarily true. What we need to learn to do, our behavior needs to change and say, the lipstick that gives me the feeling and the color and the texture that I want with the least amount of packaging and bells and whistles is the one with the most value. We need to change our behavior, because only then will we start to reduce our waste. And so the point is, to your question, is look beyond the packaging and try the product. And if a $5 product feels, looks, smells, and does what you like it to do, then that is a winner for you, and you've made an amazing value purchase. And a luxury product that might have a diamond on the end of its tube, you might not like, and it might not be right for you.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Eric, you have a question?
Yeah, I do, President Deb. Vic, I was really intrigued by the change again in who influences the market, and and how much this the role of influencers would have now. From a practical standpoint, are the influencers approached the same way as agencies would approach the old media, or how do you find your way to the influencers?
Yes, that's an amazing question. And what's interesting is that I find that there's been an evolution in the revenue stream of these influencers. So back 3 decades ago, you needed to pay the communication providers, the magazines, the newspapers, the broadcasters, to send your message out. Okay. Then celebrities started to talk about stuff. All right. And a good case in point, Madonna, she used our lipstick in her concert. She was seen in Central Park and said, "I love MAC lipstick." And she just did it on her own volition. And people bought a lot of that lipstick, I tell you. Today, a celebrity won't do that. A celebrity calls her agent and says, "I love this lipstick." Call that company and tell them that I love the lipstick, and how much will they pay me to tell the world that I love the lipstick. So in that celebrity value chain, it went from people would freely speak about what they loved to now to be paid to speak about what they loved. The same happened with the influencer. influencers to beat and win over media, like the traditional media. They got out there and said all this stuff about companies, brands on their own to win a crowd. Once they got the crowd, they did the same thing. They call the brand and they say, look, I've got 1 million followers. I like your lipstick. I want to talk about your lipstick, but this is what it's going to cost you. So, you know, what started as something that just happened organically, now it's paid to happen organically. And I've seen the cycle go from magazines to celebrities, now to influencers. But what's happening, I don't actually know what the next one is. There's going to be something, because I know that there's influencer fatigue. The consumer base has caught on and said, well, we know now they get paid to peddle stuff, just like the magazine and the television did, and just like the celebrity did. So I don't know what the next one is, but I think the next one is more of a shared revenue stream, where it's more of a TikTok user, where you just put good stuff out. And if you can get eyeballs on your website, the advertisers will pay to be around your site. So it's much more distributed, but there's always going to be revenue to be paid to share and to communicate. That I can tell you that.
Wow, that's great. I know we could probably keep going with some questions, because I've had a few in the chats, but in the essence of time, Victor, I think we'll have to have you come back at some point. But Carrie, we have, oh, there she is.
Thanks, President Deb. Victor, thank you so much for your talk today. I'm sure it was really interesting for a lot of us. As Beatrice told you at the beginning of the meeting, we have a rule against talking about our own businesses. So you probably shed a lot of light today on stuff a lot of us didn't know that Steve and Beatrice were that involved in. With Steve bringing up the values and the differences in your company, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to share a little bit of your company's mission statement with the rest of the club. So I thought this was interesting on the website. MOB is for anyone who digs deeper into what they buy, demands accountability and quality from their makeup, considers clean to be a necessity, and believes packaging needs to be rethought. As an avid consumer of these types of products, I think this is really refreshing. And again, thank you for sharing some of that with us today. From the whole club, we really appreciate your talk.
Well, thank you. Thanks everybody for having me. This is great. I could say this is my official, semi-official Rotary Club meeting. I've never been to one, and this is exciting. I would love for Beatrice or Steve to buy the ice fishing tickets or whatever, because I can totally see us doing a strategic planning session in a hut somewhere on Lake Simcoe. So I think you should try to buy some more tickets.
You know what, Victor, I love that. Thank you. And we'll definitely have to get you back to another Rotary meeting. They are a lot of fun, and yeah, we'll get you up here for the ice fishing tournament next year. Hopefully it'll be live.
Thank you, President. Thank you.
So on behalf of the club, I'd like to as well welcome and thank you for coming and joining us. Rotary, you may already know that Rotary's Polio Plus campaign is very near and dear to our hearts, and a worldwide initiative. What you'll see is, we're this close to ending polio. So on behalf of our club, and a thank you to you for coming and speaking with us today, we have made a donation of 10 Polio Plus vaccinations in your name. And making use of our Rotary Polio Resource Center and the network that we do have worldwide, we have really stepped up the march to help with the fight against COVID-19. And we've also made a donation in your name to that as well. So again, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Right. So President Debs, Stronger Together, Together Inspired Moment. And I know we've got golf clicking off pretty soon, but we do have, let's see, is it popping up, Jeff? There we go. So when we take a look at Together Inspired Moments, together, we have a lot of lessons that we've learned from the pandemic. We've, completed a year in this environment, and worldwide, we have some very common things that we've all learned. I'm not going to read all of them there, but yes, family matters, medical breakthroughs are incredible, self-care matters, being financially prepared, and age is just a number. So as you can kind of glance through the rest, it is incredible what we've all learned worldwide and taking us to the next step. So having no other Rotary business, get here. I declare this meeting adjourned and look forward to seeing everybody on the golf course.